A very good morning, viewers, and welcome to Africa and Beyond the Television Network. We continue to take a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. The Avondale 78, we had remained with around 48. 29 of them have been acquitted, and the rest, they have been convicted, and they are now awaiting sentencing. And it's something which is very important to take a look at this point in time. Dr. Mzembi says, these Zimbabweans who gathered to commemorate the Day of the African Child on the 16th of June at Honorable Timba's residence have been convicted and now await sentencing. Their crime, right of association and assembly. For this, they've spent 166 days of pre-trial detention without bail. Meanwhile, Commonwealth Secretary at PS Scotland CSG is circulating a report to Commonwealth members with a claim on improved democratic gains, governance and human rights performance. Madam Secretary General Mwari Avenemi. This is something from Dr. Walter Mzembi, and is raising this very, very important issue about the issue of Commonwealth and how biased they've proven to be. So at this point in time, we need to understand that whatever which is happening in Zimbabwe, we are on our own as a nation or as citizens. And, you know, foreign interference in Zimbabwean issues is causing us a lot, or is costing us as a country a lot at this point in time, because the Commonwealth, it seems as if they are more interested in tapping the resources of Zimbabwe, not more interested in what the people of Zimbabwe think or feel or their welfare. So it's something else. And, you know, when I look at this picture, my own heart always sinks. The major question is, how do you convict others? How do you acquit others? These are people who are at the same venue. And you actually understand that this is how this regime operates. They make sure that they punish those who speak against them. They punish those who are fighting tyranny, who are fighting incompetence, who are fighting looting and mismanagement. Admire says, you are trying to stop Zimbabwe's readmission into the Commonwealth. All current members of the Commonwealth without blame, perfect countries. You know, Admire Taguma is missing the point right here. The issue is not about Zimbabwe's readmission. The issue is about why lie to make Zimbabwe look admissible. Why are you lying that the human rights are being respected in Zimbabwe? Why? Zimbabwe can still join the Commonwealth without the Secretary for the Commonwealth lying. That is the point. So, Namtasa, so in what way is this regime better than Smith's? And, you know, that is the question which they do not want. They hate that question, but it's a very important question which need serious answers. Warakashi says, these are criminals who wanted to subvert and elected during the SADC summit through demonstrations. They deserve to stay in prison for a very long time. I would want to say this to Arakash. To protest, it's a constitutional right. It's in the Constitution. The Constitution allows people to protest. They do not need to apply for authority for them to protest. But criminals, real criminals, they have introduced bogus laws to make sure that the police approves protests. Which means if you are not interested with the one who is protesting, if you are not happy with the reasons why that person is protesting, you stop them. That is a clear violation of rights. And the Constitution is clear. It says any other law inconsistent to the supreme law, which is the Constitution, is unconstitutional. So the major question is, what crime did they actually commit? It's very important for us to take a look onto that issue. So let us go to Comrade Ostalos and understand there is further information which we need from the platform of Comrade Ostalos, which is going to guide us at this point in time. So we need proper details about those who have been acquitted, about those who are going to continue to be sentenced. It's something which is very, very important for us to take a look upon. Comrade Gift Ostalo says, it is said that only 29 of the Avondale 48 have been acquitted by the district court. The rest, including Honorable Timba, have been unjustly found guilty in the regime by the regime in Harare. We reiterate our unwavering position. All 48 are innocent and must be released. After 166 days of pre-trial detention, justice demands their immediate freedom. So it's very important for us to be looking at these issues as they are. And I have seen a lot of negative comments about the comrades in arms and everything else. But whenever I see this picture, my heart sinks. And, you know, I know that in Zimbabwe, even if you are innocent, you are regarded as the guilty one. It's because they are afraid of us. It's because they hate us. It's because they don't like us. It's because they've treated Zimbabwe as a private residence of their own. They don't see it as a country. So it's something else. Okay, Mazani says, whilst you are enjoying traveling, kushandiswa kwakaoma. So I find it very, very difficult to understand such people like from ZANU-PF. For you to show solidarity, and you have to stop traveling, you have to stop other business and everything else. But remember, President Nelson Chamisa is a man who is preparing a government. He's a man who is preparing the next government of the Republic of Zimbabwe. And they want that man who is preparing a government not to be moving around, finding friends, having conversations, and you know, building a formidable solidarity base. They don't want that to happen. Why? So you'd understand that this is the culture of ZANU-PF. This is how they operate. This is who they are. Okay. So Vumi says, can the state be charged for keeping these guys in prison for half a year without bail? I believe that in a new Great Zimbabwe, they will need to sue. And at a certain point in time, there are people who need to be sued in person, personally. I believe that these magistrates, these judges, these police officers, these politicians, at a certain point in time, they need to be sued individually. They need to be sued by their victims. That is the only way we can make sure that we recover what we have lost, we recover our dignity, and we get compensation of how we have been treated. So, you know, it's very sad. Morgan says these are judgments expected of a captured judiciary. Last week, the judge absented herself without a sound and just cause. I think she was summoned for an instruction on how to handle the case. Judiciary, which doubles as ZANU-PF members. Okay, so the other 48 will be taken, will then take their case to High Court, which will also drag for the next 6 months and then acquit some. By the time the last person is acquitted, you would have served a sentence. The delays in courts are deliberate. Okay, so this is what is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe, and they will try by all means possible to use lawfare to silence you. Imagine if these people had anything against President Nelson Chamisa. Imagine where the extent they would have gone. So let us continue to be in solidarity with each other. Let us continue to put these comrades in prayers. These are people who are suffering because of their stance, because of their position against a corrupt regime, against ZANU-PF. So we continue to be in solidarity with them. We continue to stand with them, and we continue to speak on their behalf. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. Let us meet in other episodes, in other broadcasts. Make sure that you have liked, you have commented, and also